So I finished Inklings, but in my defense, we were really slow at work. We went on vacation, so I spent a lot of time in the car. I do not have a problem.
All right, welcome friends. So make sure you stay tuned until till the end, because once I'm done with this flip through, I'm going to finish the cover, so this is not the end product on the cover. I did a coloring challenge for the month of March, and it was all dystopian themed, and so I decided I would just do the entire book dystopian themed. The buildings, I demolished all the buildings. I put patches on the hot air balloon, and I made the robot this kind of bronze look, green for the eyes, the mouth, and that to make it look like those old analog computers. Here, the title page, I just had a sticker and some washi tape and a sticker. On this page, I just colored it and lined it with some washi tape. Here I had some more stickers that I put down and just colored the wreaths. For this other page here, I really liked doing this page. I've got these like mutant creatures here, and I made the mushrooms, these mutant mushrooms. Got a mutant plant here, another mutant creature here. Got this snail with the 4 eyes and little spikes on its shell. Added some little spiky things to that, and another mutant plant. And then on the side, I just used this bronze paint and drew some like rivets to make it look like metal, and put some highlights in the glass so it would look like a cage. I love this page. So this was supposed to be Dieselpunk. It ended up looking a bit more steampunk, but I turned this here into pipes with all this smoke coming out, and the antenna, here is a close-up of the antenna. I made these like little openings so it would look like the smoke was coming out of the antennas, so like they were little pipes, and I thought that was pretty cute. On this other page, I just drew pipes and smoke just to make it look diesel punk. So I was trying my hand at Dieselpunk for the first time, and I think I was doing pretty good. For the fish, I made the fish metal. I just segmented them and added some oil marks, and I made the butterflies look like they were metal. Drew some cogs, and then I had some stamped cogs, and a couple of these are these clocks are actually washi tape that I cut out. I used the washi tape on the edges, and I turned this into a metal creature. I kind of squared off the tail, and I added pipes and changed this into a metal ship with pipes. So I was really pleased with that. So this is my first attempt at, oh, and I've got this little weapon here. This is my first few attempts at Dieselpunk for the first time. On the lighthouses, I just demolished the buildings and made it look hazy. This water here is supposed to look like oil spill, so I've got the barrels and stuff, and I got broken windows and doors. The ship's broken. Yeah, broken door here. So this other page, oh, one of my favorites. So on the globe section, I just made little squares and lined it with these black dots so it would look like metal rivets, and just colored it, you know, metal style. And the flowers I turned into little cogs. And then I had some metallic paint for like the trees and the berries and things. And then I used my stamps to stamp it. The dinosaurs, I just added a couple of extra heads and extra tails to make it look like they would, mutant animals. And then this one, this one is my favorite. So this meerkat has got to be my favorite. I was going for this bioengineered style, kind of like rocket. So I've got a dome here with the brain and the wires and the springs and a jetpack. So like Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy was kind of what I was feeling. I put some boots on him too. So I think, yeah, definitely think he's one of my favorites. I just, made these look like they had been sitting for a while. I got holes in the canopy, cobwebs. All the plants are kind of wilted, and I added wilted leaves on it, made them really brown looking. So yeah, you can see all of these have these wilted leaves. And I got a broken vase here that I added. Cobwebs, and yeah, I tried to, on the cakes and all the foods, I made them look like it was moldy and there's little flies around it, so like it'd been sitting for a long time, and cracks in the sidewalk. Yeah, some more moldy food and flies. More wilted plants. This was the first one that I did. Okay, so we've got this fish, and I segmented it off, put the little dots, and then they had these little circle bits that I colored to look like really large metal bolts, rivets, whatever you call them, I'm not sure. And added these pipes coming off of it with smoke. Got one here. Yeah, and I got some here coming out of the face, and then I got this little propeller, and then I did this other one, and I just turned all of the fins into pipes with smoke coming out of it to try to make it look kind of dieselpunk. And the flowers I turned into cogs. Oh, and then the mouth, I tried to make it look like a metal nut. Squared it off there. So I was really, this was my very first one I did in the book. This is probably my second favorite with the meerkat. I love this. So when I started doing this, I was just going to make little diesel punk houses. And so I added like these pipes, and I ended up coloring over some of the plants on the roof because I just thought it was weird to have plants on a roof. It didn't make any sense, So I just did the pipes. And then I decided I was going to put the whole thing on rafters. I just thought that was really fun. And then I was like, oh, that'll make the plants make sense. If they have no grass, they have nowhere to plant, they would put things in pots. And so I made some of the barrels like these nuclear waste barrels, and put I don't know if you could see the nuclear waste symbol on there, or the hazard waste. And then these tiles, I made them look like metal plates. I squared them off. All the bricks I squared off to make them look like metal plates, and added a bunch of, pipes and smoke, and the power lines and the tower here. And it was a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite ones. It took a while, but totally worth it. I made all of the plants down at the bottom really yellow, and the ones at the top were just slightly more green because I thought maybe they're getting more sun. This page was frustrating. So this page, I didn't know what to do, and the pictures are weird. Like this, I don't know what this is, and this little flowers, like right in the front. It's weird. I wasn't sure what to do with them, and I actually skipped it, and finally I came back to it and just made it a wall with a crack in the wall, and made them like little wall hangings, and called it good. Yeah, little wall hangings here. This one was pretty easy. I just colored it and flattened out these tires to make it look like it'd been sitting for a while. And then this, I just colored it, but I put some barbed wire on it. And then this circle thing here was actually an accident that happened from this side. I will talk about that in a minute. But I thought it looked good because it looks like, like a cup ring, like when you leave your cups on a surface, it leaves a ring, and I kind of liked it. This page is by far the worst page in the entire book. I really failed on this one. So I wanted to do bubbles, and I thought it had to be a dirty bubble, right, in order to be dystopian. And I used neon paint, thinking it was kind of like oily. It did not work out. I don't know what to talk about it. really liked this page, so the fish page. All right, so I love the fish. I just made all the houses look dieselpunk and made the fish look kind of metallic with some highlights and some gold, and added all these pipes. I wasn't 100% certain what to do at first. I just, tried to color it dystopian the best that I could, and so I made this look like maybe it's a little moldy, some flies around it. And then I thought, what would a dystopian wedding cake look like? Maybe they had acorns and some like weird fruits. So I made the cherries green, like there's some kind of mutant fruit, a mutant dove on the cake. And then I thought, like those dystopian movies, there's always like those old-fashioned movie strips. That one gave me a challenge here. I didn't know what to do with it. Like, how am I going to turn crowns and diamonds and mushrooms and jars into dystopian? So finally I thought, I will turn this into a graffiti wall for maybe some kind of gang, and I added these bats with, barbed wire and nails. So it's, a graffiti wall for some kind of gang lord. And then I turned the mushrooms little mutant mushrooms and colored it. Made the wall look like it was demolished, and that was it. All right, so the carousel, I just added the gray spots like the paint was chipping away, added little cobwebs, this sign that's broken, some cracks in the concrete and the sign, and some trash around the edge, and put some holes in the canopy. So this one I made like a gangs layer and just put some holes in the canopy. Who knows, maybe it's like this gang. It was the warning. So you get here and then they have this sign that says leave, and then this sawhorse with some barbed wire around it. And the balloons, I gave little gray spots like the paint was chipping away, because it would have to be plastic. Obviously an actual balloon would have deflated, so I had to make them those plastic like decorations. All right, this one also gave me a lot of trouble. I looked at this forever before I finally figured out what I would do. So I turned it into a movie sign with, all this kind of destruction around it. So I put the now showing sign. It's called Splish Splash is the name of the movie. And this little tag here that says an unlikely friend. I don't know, like maybe the duck is his friend. And that's, I put the date that I actually colored it as my release date for the movie, and then Fish Out of Water Studios. And then I put a sign on it, the missing person sign, like somebody had come behind it and put a missing person sign, and then put cracks all in the glass. And then around the edge, just all this trash, these little newspaper articles, and, like it's been long forgotten, and some cracks in the wall, like it's been sitting here for a long time. And then over here, these two ducks, I put this duck, in some concrete and in broken concrete, and this other one I added some toys around it, and then just made them look really dirty and lined the whole thing in this burnt edge washi tape. And yeah, all the cracks and stuff, I just put dirt around it. This one was also very difficult. It was this cute little whale with a ship on its nose, and I thought, how can I make this dystopian? So I turned it into a Sea Mutants survival guide. So I gave it some teeth and made the ship kind of run down and patchwork, and and drew a book around it, and it's volume 1, and it's 101 practical skills for the ever-changing mutants of the sea. And I was pretty pleased with that. I thought that was pretty creative, and I put that, like on a wooden desk. So I forgot to color the flags. It's funny. And then so I just added the pipes. Oh, the purses. So I skipped it originally, had to go back and do it. I didn't know what to do here. So what would dystopian purses look like? I don't know. I put, some spikes and weapons in there, and like barbed wire around a few of them. And here's just a sticker, and I just colored the flowers to go along with the sticker. Was not a big fan of this page. I tried. I, made the fish mutants and the food rotted and mutant food, like plants that don't exist, like these green things here, and four-eyed crabs. And then finally I just gave up and just colored the rest of them because I ran out of ideas. Not my favorite one. The boba teas, though. So fun. I did this while I was on vacation. So it took me forever to figure out how can I make a boba teas dystopian as a boba tea. So I thought about it, and then I thought, what's common in dystopian movies, there's always like robots that are either assisting or they've taken over. So I thought we're doing robots. And so I put all the boba teas on these conveyor belts and these little robot hands that are, picking them up and handing them to customers. And so, forgot to finish the straw. Yeah, so I guess I'll need to go back and fix that. But there's my boba teas. I was very happy with it. It's up there with one of my favorites. This one just added some pipes and little pressure gauges and temperature gauges and the smoke, and I just thought it was cute. Didn't really do much to it. This other one, I added my mask and these flowers. I drew that in there to give it a dystopian theme, and then added some washi tape. This one, I wasn't sure what to do, so I just colored all the pictures and put them behind these broke down shutters because I racked my brain for a while, and this is, where I came up with. So here's all the little pictures inside my shutters, and it's always fun to have at least one 3D element in a coloring book. I like 3D elements. Yeah, a lot of these were presents, and that was, I have to fix that. Wasn't sure how to make them dystopian. This one, all right, so this is a comic book. I made it look like a comic book. It was just the car, and so Fish Out of Water Comics, the S kind of rubbed off. Then I made the edges look like it had been burnt, and that was my first attempt at that. I think it was okay. It definitely needs some work, but that was a lot of fun. I was pretty proud of that. Volume 3, number 5. It was just the car and the cake. So this one was the very last one that I did. I skipped it and finally came back to it at the end. So I made it like a movie poster again, and I actually tried to get kind of realism with all of my shells. I don't know, I just thought they really liked the way the shells looked, so I really tried to make it look a little more realistic, and then just put the name, Sands of Time, Fish Out of Water Studios, and then the now showing at the top, and just put it on some brick and kind of put some broken glass in there. I don't even want to talk about this other page. This other page was a complete disaster. I started to do the background with paint markers, and the paint markers ended up like it was different color. The sharp side and the fat side were different colors, and I ended up with these different colors. And so then I tried to fix it, and so I'm like, well, we'll go over it with some white, fog and haze, and it looked great until I added the paint markers to the background. So I had no idea that they were going to be different colors on the ends. I don't know how that happens because it's the same marker, but it was not fun. I was not very happy about that. And then I just added the washi tape, and I actually tore the washi tape to give it the torn edge and lined it. And I don't ever want to look at that one again. This one, I tried to make it look like, they'd just been sitting a while. Got rotten food and cobwebs and flies. Um, all right, so this other one was also really tricky. There was these weird like circle plates, but it was just a circle, and I wasn't sure how to make this work. So what I did is I put all the weird images inside of a picture frame and made it a picture frame and made all these objects like on these, just industrial shelves. Made it look dirty in the background, and I thought it worked okay. The shakes is also one of my favorites. So I did it like the boba teas. I just colored the shakes like normal, but then I put them on all these little conveyor belts, I put them on conveyor belts and added all these mechanical arms and things. This other one, the candy page, I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it's the hazard symbols. So I just colored a grayscale anywhere except for where I wanted the hazard symbol and then outlined it in this metallic washi tape. This page I just colored my bugs and made it look like maybe oil coming down on the page. This other one, the fruits, I put survival because I'm thinking, it's got all this food and stuff, so dystopian theme, we'll put survival in the middle, dystopian elements, and lined it with some metallic washi tape. This one I just colored in kind of the same theme I've been going with and outlined it in the washi tape. This other one, I ended up really liking this one. So I painted the sky and I had to, strip all the foliage off the trees. I made all the tiles and brick, these metal plates, and added all my pipes and the power lines. I wasn't a big fan of the stars, but the rest of it looked pretty good. This page, I just colored it and put my sticker on there. And this one here, I really didn't plan on this being anything. I colored it and came back to it to try to, make it fit with the theme. And, I thought, oh, I'll make it look like a broken mirror. And I just started drawing the broken pieces all over this thing with absolutely no plan or prior practice. So it's amazing that it actually ended up it turned out really well. Yeah, I just made it look like a plate, put the broken pieces in there, segmented it. And then the cart, I really like the cart. So we've got the pipes here, some holes in the curtains. I got the plants, I put it in like a paint can, and I got this the watering can I turned into an oil can with this little area, like you have to fill up the cart with oil because it's Dieselpunk. Got my mutant plant here, and the cat has two tails because it's a mutant cat. For these flower pages, it was just the flowers, and I didn't really know what to do with these just little flower bubbles, and there's like 3 of these pages in there. There's a lot of them. But I decided I would turn them into specimen cards. So I thought, dystopian, all these mutant strains of different plants that, maybe they're studying the different strains. So I've got mutant strain number 1, mutant strain number 2, location where they're found, District 12, the date. I do not recommend getting this date stamp, by the way, that I got from Hobby Lobby because it's awful. Its spacing's weird and it's not good. Got the class, the species, unknown, species, number, location, no-go zone, memo. Yeah, habitat, rocky, climate dry. Note, edible, nutritious when consumed raw. The dove hurt me a little bit. I actually thought about tearing this page out and coloring it and setting it aside because I really liked the dove, but I got all the way through this and I was like, you know what? I'm committed at this point. We're going to finish this. I'm doing every single page in this book dystopian style. So I made a mutant dove gave it, you know, these like claw arms and eagle feet and extra head. So there's my mutant dove. The butterfly, I just turned it into, you know, a Dieselpunk butterfly. Turned this into pipes here and made some smoke. This I just had this sticker and I just colored the page to match the sticker. I just colored these and I just added some washi tape and colored these here. Alright, here is my Sea Mutant Survival Guide Volume 2 by Fish Out of Water Coloring, Navigating the Abnormalities and Surviving the Depths. And I just did this like I did the first one. I really like these. I thought that was just really cute way to make it work. This other page, I love junk journals, and I have these specimen cards. So I just tried to make these look like specimen cards. I had, used stamps, and for this I actually made the cards and fit them over the coloring page. And I don't know if you could tell in the light, I put some tape over the flowers so it would look like the plastic part of the specimen card, and then I just glued the cards over the plants. On this page I just had this sticker and I just colored the flowers to match the theme of the sticker. And the chickens here, I just made the mutant chickens, you know, extra legs, extra heads. So if Mary Poppins was Dieselpunk, here we go. So I just made the whole thing look metallic. I used gold and silver and just added some pipes and the smoke, and I turned one of the butterflies into Dieselpunk butterfly, and that was it on this page. On this other page, I just colored it and put a stencil of London on the bottom. Something about demolished cities. Just every time I think of dystopian, I think of huge cities that, you know, are demolished. This next page, I had just watched a video from Soraya Colors where she went through Johanna Basford's Lost Worlds, and she took one of her pages and made it look like a window. So I'm thinking she probably influenced me on this one because I didn't know what to do with this little circle patch, but I thought I would make this look like a ship window. And I got to try to draw rust for the first time, and I was really pleased with the result. I thought it looked really good. So yeah, I just put this picture inside of a ship window. And then on the other side, my Volume 3, so Sea Mutant Survival Guide Volume 3, Adapt, Fight, Endure, with more tips than ever, a manual for combating the threats of a corrupted sea. So this page, I would have loved to make all of these snow globes, but I didn't quite have enough room. So I did the bottom 3 are broken snow globes. You can tell that it's like kind of half full of water. In the middle page, I just did these domes, you know, like those dome displays that you see sometimes. And then the top shelf was I just made into picture frames. And then on this other page, I made another graffiti wall for another gang. So it says Zone 3 belongs to the fish. And I know the fish is a really dumb gang name, but I didn't pick it. The coloring page picked it. This page, I made it look like maybe a display window and made the glass look like it had been cracked out, and I lined it with the washi tape, golden washi tape, and over here just made it look like kind of maybe a picture, lined it with the washi tape, and I used a hole punch to make these mock bolt heads or rivets. I don't know what you call them. So this one I really had to think outside the box. Finally, I came up with a kid's rug, a dirty kid's rug in a room that's been abandoned. So I actually used marker here, and I purposefully made these little circles and overlapped them so it would give it these lines. So I thought maybe that would make it look kind of like a rug, like a woven pattern. And no shading, because obviously this is a picture on a rug. And then I've added the checkerboard and the comic book here, and you'll notice this comic book is a shout out to my other comic book page, and so I tried to make it kind of look like that, and I used a stamp for the back for the writing, and then made it look like it'd been dirty. So I took some ink and kind of just stressed little spots on the rug like it'd been just dirty. This page was pretty cut and dry. I just colored the robots and gave them some oil leaks. This page I Tried to make it similar to my tree page. I used my stamps, I distressed it, outlined it with some washi tape, made everything look metal, used my metallic paint for the leaves and the flowers. This one I just added cracks in the windows and doors, and this is a sticker here in the center. This one's just, yeah, put some holes in the canopy, a patchwork on the hot air balloon, and some spots where the paint had chipped off of these carnival rides. And this is my test page here. I just cut off the excess and just left just the picture, a little bit of washi tape, and then my back page, I actually used some alcohol markers for the first time. It's supposed to not be streaky, but obviously I don't know what I'm doing. So still got some streaks in there. Some bonus footage. I had to do the flip through early in the day when the sun was out, but I wasn't quite done with the cover. I finished the cover, and here is my end result for the cover. I hope you like it. These cogs here are buttons I got from Walmart. The metal ones are from Hobby Lobby. These are just embellishments that I use in junk journals. And then all of these butterflies here, the big butterflies and the big thick flowers and leaves and the gnome and the mushrooms. Oh, and this little snail here. These are actually DIY paper clay embellishments that I made. I do have a video of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this flip through. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to be starting R.J. Hampson's Steampunk Revivals. That's my next project book, and it's going to be probably a bit prettier than this one has been. So make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of those videos.